Hello, in this podcast we're going to learn how to rearrange equations to solve for variables. This is a very important technique because equations are written to solve for one variable, such as the final velocity is equal to the acceleration times the elapsed time plus the initial velocity. But suppose we know the final velocity, the elapsed time, and the initial velocity, we can use this equation to solve for acceleration, but we need to go ahead and rearrange it. So for example, we can take this equation and rearrange it to solve for acceleration. And we do this by performing math operations on the equation to isolate the variable we want to solve for. Let's take a look at how we do this. Let's take equation 1 and rearrange it to solve for acceleration. First, we want to look for terms that are added to acceleration, in this case, initial velocity. So we need to remove that first. We do that by subtracting the initial velocity from both sides. Remember, whatever we do to one side of the equation, we have to do to the other side. We write our equation, which is final velocity minus initial velocity is equal to acceleration times elapsed time. We haven't quite isolated the acceleration, so now we have to remove the elapsed time. We do that by dividing both sides by delta t, and that leaves us with the acceleration is equal to the final velocity minus the initial velocity divided by the elapsed time. Let's take a look at how we can rearrange equation 1 to find elapsed time and also initial velocity. Let's look at the different ways we can rearrange equation 2. Here are the ways we can rearrange equation 3. And finally, here's how we can rearrange equation 4. Well, this wraps up our podcast on rearranging equations. I hope you found it helpful and have a good day.